Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this webinar that we are conducting to celebrate International Observe the Moon Night. I am going to be your host tonight. My name is Himanshu Gautam, and I am an astronomer associated with Space India. I hope you all are very excited to be here. Space India is a pioneer organization working toward the development of science and astronomy in India. It aims to create scientifically aware society and contribute to the technological and social development of the country. Space is providing services and products in the area of astronomy and space science to school, NGOs, and college. And we have been in this industry for more than 20 years now. So tonight we are here to celebrate International Observe the Moon Night. It is very important being moon is our closest celestial neighbor, right? The moon is a stepping stone to learning more about our solar system, galaxy, universe. And also NASA is preparing to launch a Artemis 1 test flight to the moon, a major step forward in new era of human deep space exploration. So, plan for the observation is first, I will introduce you to the moon. We will discuss some details in brief about the moon and its feature, and why we will see why it is so important to study the moon and why astronomers are eager to know more about it. Later on, we have got a telescope and a camera, so we will be point that toward the moon and we will be showing you the moon in great detail. After we will be exploring the features of moon. After that, we will be exploring the brightest planet that we have in the night sky, that is Jupiter and Saturn. Now, we will be showing you the Jupiter and Saturn in great detail, and we will be having moons of Jupiter in the field of view tonight. So you will know get to you will get to see them as well as the moons of Saturn. As you all know, the Saturn is known as the Lords of the Ring. So we'll also get to see the rings of the Saturn. Okay, now I want all of you to start writing their question in the comment box. Toward the end of the session, I'm going to take all your questions. I might not be able to cover all of them, but my team and I will shortlist the question, the most important and most common question that we will be answering. So now let us now go and learn about the moon. Okay, let's start the celebration with this short clip. So we were not able to, you were not able to see the slide because of some technical issue. So now proceed with the webinar. So let's start the celebration. I hope you had fun watching the video. So, do you know what is International Observe the Moon Night? International Observe the Moon Night is a worldwide celebration of lunar science and exploration held annually since 2010. One day each year, everyone on Earth is invited to observe and learn about the moon together and to celebrate the cultural and personal connection we all have with our nearest neighbor. So, when is it happening this year? It is happening today, that is 1st October. This event occurs in September or October when the moon is around a first quarter phase. A first quarter moon is visible in afternoon and evening, a convenient time for most hosts and participants. Next year, it is going to happen on 21st October 2023. Moving on, why do we have this event every year? Now the question is, why do we have this event every year? In 2009, Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter and Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite (LCROSS) successfully made it to the moon and entered into lunar orbit. And we celebrate this victory as International Observe the Moon Night. The Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter is a NASA's robotic spacecraft currently orbiting the moon. The data collected by it has been described as essential for planning NASA's future human and robotic mission to the moon. Then we have LCROSS, a robotic spacecraft operated by NASA. The objective of this mission was to further to explore the presence of water in the form of ice in a permanently shadowed crater near a solar polar region. So now that we know that moon is our natural satellite which revolves around the sun. But how does our moon shines? Just like planets, our moon does not make its own light. It shines because it reflects the sun's light. Our moon is much closer to us than sun or other planet, so it appears much brighter to people on Earth. It is the brightest object in the sky, night, when it is visible at night. Around the time of the full moon, the moon can help us to see even at night. So now that we have know how moon shines, let's go more into the details. How old is our moon? How far is moon from Earth? Now, how big is our moon? Our moon is about 4.5 billion years old. Oh my God, that's a lot of birthdays. It's just like a little bit younger than the Earth and rest of the solar system. Our moon is about 380,000 kilometers away from the Earth. If our Earth were the size of a basketball, our moon would be the size of tennis ball. And at that scale, they would be 24 feet apart. Our moon is about 3,500 kilometers in diameter, and this is about the distance from New York to Mexico. So how did our moon form?
Until about 20 years ago, when another theory came along, and that is that the proto-Earth was very early on in the history of the solar system hit by a Mars-sized body, hit obliquely, that this Mars-sized body ploughed into the center of the Earth and became the Earth's core, and a lot of the outer material got stripped off by this gargantuan collision and coalesced to form the Moon.
Now, they had to come up with a very bizarre theory for how the moon came into being, because all the conventional theories don't make any sense. The best theory of the moon's formation is phantasmagorically catastrophic collision of two things, you know, at just the right angle to form this belt of debris that then formed the moon.
So I hope you had fun watching the video. So, using evidences from the moon rocks collected by the Apollo astronaut and observation of our moon's orbit, scientists think that our moon formed just after Earth formed. They think that a giant asteroid about half the size of Earth crashed into Earth, and the asteroid broke apart. Some of it became part of the Earth, and some of it and some of Earth too was knocked into orbit around the Earth. Now, we will watch a short clip on evolution of moon. So, have you noticed in the last video that there were some shapes on the moon's surface? Those shapes are called features of the moon. Do you know how these features came to the moon's surface? We have mare, craters, terrae, regolith, and rays. Mares are frozen lava patches. These are dark color patches which are present on the surface of the moon. Then we have craters. These are ball-shaped depression which are present on the surface of moon. You must have seen in the video how that lava got cooled down and it became the dark patches on the moon surface. Then we have Tire, which is the highland present as nothing, just mountains which are present on the moon. Then we have regolith. We call regolith as soil, lunar soil. The soil on the surface of the moon is called regolith. This dust is grind so well that it is even softer than the powder we use on the earth. Then we have rays. Rays are bright streak of material that we can see extending away from the craters. Now I'm going to show you two beautiful pictures of meres. As I've already told you that mare is frozen lava patches on the surface of the moon. Mare are frozen lava patches which are present on the surface of moon. When moon was young, that means not fully solid, it suffered from many powerful impacts, and some of these impacts were so strong that the surface of the moon was punctured with lava and from within spewed out of the surface. Then we talked about craters. Now I'm going to show you a spectacular photo of crater. Okay, as I've already told you that craters are bowl-shaped depressions which is present on the surface of the moon, and they can be 100 feet deep. In today's observation, we are going to take you to see number of craters like Crethina, Theophilus, and many more. Then we have regolith. The soils on the surface of the moon is called regolith. The dust is grinded so well that it is even softer than the powder we use on Earth, finer than the talcum powder. Rays are bright streak of material that we can see extending from the observed on 1st of October, that is today. This map depicts the moon as it appears from the northern and southern hemisphere on International Observed Moon Night, that is today, October 1st. Many of the best view will occur along the terminator, the line between the day and the night side of the moon. Today, we have Katharina, Cyrillus, and Theophilus crater in our field of view. Katharina is positioned further south. Katharina is about 100 kilometers in diameter and 3.1 kilometers in deep. Katharina is most evolved and thus oldest of the tribe. In the middle, we have Cyrillus crater, which is about 98 kilometers wide, and it is 3.1 kilometers in depth. Then Theophilus crater is the youngest crater. It is about 100 kilometers in diameter and it is about 3.2 kilometers deep. Today, you are going to see number of craters and then the terminator line during the observation. Moving on, now we will see selected highlights. 2020 selected highlights. We have lunar Maria, which we call C's, Apollo sites, and then we have telescope trees. Lunar Maria, C's. You can see number of Marias on International Observe the Moon Night. These are turquoise color squares which is present on the surface of the moon. Once thought to be the seas of water. They are actually large, flat plains of solidified basaltic lava. They can be viewed in binoculars or even with unaided eyes. Some of the Marias are circular, hinting at origin from giant asteroid impact that created great basins that were later flooded with the lava. Other Maria are irregular and have more mysterious origin. A few of the Marias are highlighted on the above map. You can see the number of turquoise squares on the left side of the moon. Then we have Apollo sites. Between July 1969 and December 1972, a total of 12 astronauts landed on the surface of the moon as part of the Apollo mission. Apollo mission 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17 each landed in different locations on the lunar surface. Three of the historic landing regions are visible on International Observe the Moon night. Then we have telescopic treats, which are pink colored triangles that you can see on the lit surface of the moon. Some interesting lunar landforms that have favorable lighting for viewing on International Observe the Moon night are identified above. The sites will require a telescope. As I have already told you that at the end of the session, at the end of the webinar, we are going to observe number of objects. Now we have this map depicts the moon as it will appear from southern hemisphere today, the date of International Observe the Moon night. Many of the best view will occur along the terminator, the line between the day and night side of the moon. So why do we have this International Observe the Moon night? What's the purpose of this, right? We do things, they have purpose, right? So to unite people across the globe in celebration of lunar observation, science, and exploration, provide information, a platform, and resources in order to raise awareness of NASA's lunar science and exploration of program, empowers people to learn more about the moon and space science and exploration, using the Earth's moon as an accessible entry point. Facilitate sharing of moon-inspired stories, images, artwork, and more. Then we have inspire continued observation of the moon, the sky, and the world around us. Support all people who are interested in learning more about and connecting to the moon. So we conduct number of activity to celebrate International Observe the Moon night. One of the activity could be sketch the moon together. These activities make it easy to participate safely in International Observe the Moon night from wherever you are. They are suitable for variety of age groups and adaptable for use with whatever materials you have available. Moon photo challenge bingo. Then we have number of games and activities that you can do to celebrate International Observe the Moon night. So what can you do on this day? You can join International Observe the Moon night from wherever you are, attend or host a virtual or in-person event, or observe the moon from home. Now we will be observing the moon live from New Delhi, and for this I will be going to hand over this virtual stage to my colleague Randi. But before we do that, we have question answer round. Okay, so we have selected few of the questions which are most common and the most important ones. Okay. We have number of telescopes available on the Space Arcade. The best telescope that fulfills your need, you can get them and you can check on our websites. Craters formed when an asteroid hits the surface of. Now, the next question is craters formed when an asteroid hits the surface of the moon. Yes, when the number of impact happened on the moon, when space rock, asteroids, comets are coming toward the moon and they impacted with the moon, then the craters started to happen. The bowl-shaped depression started to happen. And for that reason, the lava which is present inside the moon started coming out. and then this lava got frozen, is served as lava patches, those dark color patches that we see on the surface of the moon. Any more question can we have? I'm hoping to get more questions. Okay, now I'll be handing over this to my colleague Randi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Himanshu. Hello, everyone. My name is Randeep, and today I am coming live with you all from New Delhi, and we'll be taking you to a live shot of the moon right now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to share my screen so that you all can get a live view. So I guess that all of you are able to get a live view of the moon right now. Okay. So as you can see, so what I have done is that right now we are connected to the moon. Okay. So we are connected via 150 telescope, which I have mounted with the help of my camera and connected it to my laptop so that you all are getting a live view of the moon. This is not a picture or a video from YouTube. Okay. This is a live view of the moon right now. As you can see, the moon is continuously moving. And as we know, our Earth and moon both move. So I have to continuously adjust the telescope so that, I'm able to show you a view of the moon. So today we have the waxing crescent phase of the moon, as you all can see. And in this particular phase, this part of the moon is lit up. And on this particular part, as you can see, many of the features are actually very clearly visible. I can even show you a bit detailed view. If I double click on this particular part, I will be able to get a zoomed in view. So as you can see, you can get a very nice looking zoomed in view of the moon. Okay. So let me just quickly take you through the different important features that my colleague Himanshu has already discussed. So first of all, the different types of depressions that you see, which are very prominent even with naked eye as well. These parts are called as the craters. Okay, so these are basically depressions that have been caused over thousands and millions of years actually due to different types of asteroids that have fallen upon the moon. After that, we have the surface of the moon itself, which we call as the terrain. And then very prominent of these are the dark patches which are visible. And these dark patches are actually called as these dark patches are actually called as, okay, apart from the dark patches, these are actually dark patches of frozen lava. Okay, and these dark patches have actually been named also based on different types of scientists and different types of people have actually named these dark patches. After that, we have the soil of the moon itself, and this soil is actually called as the regolith. Okay, and it's very fine actually, it's finer than your talcum powder. And why has it become fine? Because there have been thousands and millions of asteroids that have actually attacked the moon throughout this entire course of time, and that's why there has been a lot of impact on the moon, and that has grounded this entire powder, this entire soil into very fine dust like thing. Okay, that's why it's called as the regolith. And then finally, as you can see, probably you will be able to see in this particular part, let me just zoom in, you can see some whitish patches which are actually growing out of this particular region. These whitish patches are actually called as the rays. Okay, so these are the different features which are actually visible when we look at the moon. Okay, and very luckily today we are able to actually see all the different features of the moon. And these different features have also been given different names. Okay, so for instance, if you look at this particular region, let me just zoom in again so that I can show it to you. So this particular region is actually called as Lacus Mortis, which is actually, Latin for lake of death. Okay, so basically there have been a lot of asteroids that have attacked on this particular part, and that's why it's called as the Lacus Mortis or the lake of death. And then we come to another part, which is present in this particular region. Okay, this particular region, which is almost at the shade of the moon, and this particular part is called as the Rima Ariadius. Okay, this is called as the Rima Ariadius. Then we move on to our next part. 3 different craters which you can see are clustered together over here. These 3 craters are actually called as the Theophilus, Cyrillus, and the Katharina. So the topmost or the northern one is the Theophilus, then we have the Cyrillus and the Katharina. And well, these may look very small from here, but actually you will be astound to hear that these are actually really large. These are actually as wide as 100 to 150 kilometers and as deep as 3.5 kilometers. Okay, so these are as large as that. Yeah, these are really large. Okay, but we are looking from the Earth, so they appear really small. Apart from that, if you look at this particular region where we have another of this particular frozen lava patch, these particular regions are called as the Rupes Altai or the Altai Scar. Okay, and then if you look at this particular region where the rays are coming out, this region is called as the Vallis Rita, or it is also called as the Rita Valley. Okay, so basically it's a valley kind of region. Okay, I will zoom in again. So it's a valley kind of region that actually gets formed over here, and that's why it's called as the Rita Valley. So in this particular way, if you even explore for yourself, you will be able to see that all the different regions of the moon have been given different types of names. In fact, there are more than 9,000 craters all across the moon, and most of them have actually been given names. More than 6,000 of those have actually been dated as well, so we know the actual date. And if you just take this picture of the moon like this, then you will actually get this particular region of the moon which is lit up. So I guess that gives you a very good idea about the features of the moon on real time. And I really hope that you enjoyed this entire session, you enjoyed this entire footage as well. And as you can see that we are also moving along with the moon, so the moon is also moving, and along with that we are also moving. Okay, so these are the different features. And if you also would like to ask any questions regarding to this, you can ask it up on the chat box and all. Okay, all right. So I guess that gives you a good view of our moon. This is the live view which I was taking. Okay. Okay, so now before we wrap up, so what I would like to do is that I would like to quickly take you through again the different important features of the moon, and especially what you have learned in today's session. Okay, I will also take you through again the revisiting of the moon. Let me also show you that I can zoom into the moon almost 10 times over here, so that you can see each of the details of the moon. So as you can see, these depressions are the ones which are called as the craters. Let me go to 5x, because in 10x it's not that clear. In 5x it's really clear and it's really beautiful. Okay, so probably you all can take screenshots of your phone in your phone or in a computer right now. Okay, so again, let me quickly take you through the different features, the different important features that we have. So here we have the different patches which are called as the craters, which are numerous, more than 9,000 craters which are actually present. To be precise, around 9,137 craters which are currently present on the moon. Apart from that, there are these dark patches. Okay, and just let me just wait for it. Hold on. Seems like we might have a technical issue over here. Just let me check. Okay, so probably we have got disconnected with our camera due to some technical issues. So no issues regarding that. Okay, so as we saw that these were some of the important features. So as I was saying, then the soil of the moon, it's called as the regolith. Okay, and it's really fine. It's extremely fine. And, it's even finer than your talcum powder. So it's extremely smooth. In fact, in our Apollo missions and different missions that have been conducted, we have been able to bring back a lot of those regolith, a lot of rocks, as well as a lot of samples from the moon, so that, we can analyze it on our Earth, in our NASA, in our different types of laboratories. And we have got to learn a lot about the moon. Just recently, we have also got to learn about that water in the form of ice is actually present on the moon. It was our own Chandrayaan mission itself which actually discovered that particular feature of the moon. Okay, so there are a lot of missions also which are upcoming. For example, we recently had the Chandrayaan 2 mission, which the Chandrayaan 3 mission is coming up, and very interestingly, the Artemis 1 mission is also coming up, which is being conducted by NASA, and its launch will be there very soon. So I hope that you remain tuned up to different types of channels, and you remain tuned up to our social media channels as well, so that you get all the opportunities and every opportunity and every kind of activity and interesting event that's taking place all across the universe. In fact, so that you all can get the latest updates about whatever is happening in space. So I hope that you all really enjoyed this entire session. And whatever questions you have, you can still put up in the chat box. And we hope that you join us for our next session as well. Thank you so much and wish you all clear skies. So now I would like to hand over this virtual stage back to Himanshu. Himanshu, please take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Randeep. So we have received number of questions. So the first question is, what is difference between crater and mare? So there's a simple difference between the crater and the mares. The craters are the bowl-shaped depression which is present on the surface of Earth, and mares are dark patches that you saw in the observation. Yeah. What are LCROSS and LRO, and what are the objective of LCROSS and LRO? So the objective of this mission, they were launched in 2009, and the sole purpose for sending this mission was to locate potential resources on the moon and to see if there is a habitable atmosphere is there, and to check if we can number of landing sites are there. So to check landing site, the atmosphere, and LCROSS was especially designed to find out if there is water present on the moon. And with the help of LCROSS mission, we were able to find out that the water was present in the surface of the moon in the pure form, in the pure ice form, in permanently shadowed craters, which is present near the South Pole. Now, the next question I have is, what rocket it was launched with? Okay, the rocket it was launched was Atlas 5401. It was used to launch these two spacecrafts, that is LRO and LCROSS. So the next question is, it is like again repeated question, is water present on the moon? Okay, is water present on the moon? So initially, Chandrayaan-1 was able to find that there might be the possibility that there is water on the moon. With the help of LCROSS mission, that is Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite, we were able to find out that water was present on the moon in the form of pure solid ice form. So yes, those were the questions that we have gotten from your side. So I hope you all had fun observing the moon. And did you see the craters and everything, the terminator line, the line between the lit side and the dark side, and the number of craters that we discussed, that is Katrina, Theophilus, and Cyrillus. I hope you all have had fun watching those craters, the terminator line. To celebrate this International Observe the Moon Night, we conduct number of activities that you can do at your home, or you can do it with your friends out there to celebrate this. Okay, so I hope that was interactive enough for you. And I have one more question that is coming with me. So let's just wait for that. Now the question that I have, so many asteroids it strike the moon over the years, why not Earth? Isha Dixit. Okay, that's a very interesting question. Since 4.5 billion years ago, there were a number of space rock and asteroids that were hitting the moon and the Earth. So we have seen that the Earth has become habitable over the years, and moon has not. And we can see that those mares, those craters, those impact that happened over the long time back. They didn't happen 2 days back. They didn't happen 5 years from now. They happened very long time back. So this could be the possible answer for your question, Isha Dixit. Thank you for your question, and I hope you all had fun attending the webinar. I hope you had a spectacular view of the moon. So that is all from our side, and thank you. Wish you clear skies.